I'm Jenny Cairns and I work for Wesley Mission. I'm a family worker at the Hills Family Centre and I'm also a group facilitator. I run groups for mums and dads to come along and to learn about some things they're perhaps struggling with and to either affirm or confirm what they're already doing right and to perhaps tweak it, or to come along and get some ideas on how to help their children be resilient and cope with the things that happen to them, whether it be at school or just in general, to be socially acceptable. So we tackle the issue of bullying in particular by teaching parents how to build resilience and self-esteem in their children. Because research shows that children with low self-esteem often are the bullies or often are bullied themselves. For parents who are concerned for that particular issue, it's really important that they can look at ways in which they can build self-esteem in their children and ways in which they can build up the resilience for their children to cope in certain situations, because it's not unlikely that they will be bullied at some point. I think it's important that parents have somewhere to go to ask, what can I do and how can I do it, and are there ways in which I can make these things work. The first feedback we get usually is they really enjoyed the group interconnection, so they love the connection with the other families and the importance of understanding how they need to control their stuff, their emotion. And it's a really big shift for them to feel comfortable enough to say that they are now understanding how to keep their families safer and keep their families in a strong place, being able to build them up and feeling confident. I think a big thing that comes out of our groups is that they feel a lot more confident in their family process, if you like. I think we're conscious with all the research now that bullying is starting earlier and earlier. It's really important, I think, that the parents understand that they are the role models, and sometimes bullying can come from the home. We don't focus on that too much, but we do like to make them aware that their emotions are in control and that the way in which they deal with people are on parade for their children, and their children are soaking all that up. So often children will go to school and copy that behaviour, try it out on other kids. And so we're about sort of making them aware of what's going on at home and also how they can build the children up to deal with that sort of behaviour at school from other children so that they don't become victims themselves.
My whole life was pretty much about money and drugs and on that whole round and around wheel sort of thing. And I was pregnant and I just felt really alone and I needed somebody to talk to. I was walking around the wards and I saw an ad that said, are you worried about having a child? Are you worried about your parenting skills? Are you worried that you won't have enough family support? Basically, that sign was pretty much made for me because I was really, really concerned that I wouldn't be a good parent.
Wesley's Brighter Future program here in the Nepean, it's a program that's been set up over a 3-year period to work with families so that before children are taken into child protection, that we have this barrier where we can actually work with the families and hold them back from that. Well, most of the clients within our Brighter Futures programs would be from, I would say, 90% from a domestic violence background. The parents that have drug and alcohol issues, or a combination of both, because generally they will come together, and there'll be some other aspects as well.
I didn't mind whether he would be a male or female. I just wanted a kind, helpful, supportive person. But I think that it's actually been really good for me and my son that it's been a man, because my son's father doesn't have any contact really. I was so outside of the community and outside of society that I didn't really have anyone to talk to. What the Wesley Mission program has taught me is that rather than sit with your bad feelings, You need to get out there and become part of the community.
I think it's a vital part of the Brighter Futures program is to reconnect, and we've been able to, I guess, reconnect her with her family. She actually has a relationship with her mum and her stepdad and her sisters now.
For me, it's been really good to reconnect with my family because I need someone for Oliver.
We've come a long way, but it's still up to her as to how she would like things to happen. I've learnt so much from her, and I'm just so glad to be a part of it.
Hi, my name's Kate. I work for Wesley Mission through the Specialist Foster Care Program. This is a program that has a specialised approach to the most high needs, complex needs children, such as those who have left the criminal justice system, or have been homeless for extensive periods of time, or have been living in refuges. These children are wards of the state. So they all come from abusive or neglectful backgrounds where they weren't safe at home. Foster children come into a new school, into a new placement, already labelled as different, as a bad kid, and very quickly the school population will learn through gossip that this is a foster child and this is a bad child, and their parents actively encourage them to stay away in some cases. Wesley Delmar have an education support program which provides mentoring and tutoring for children in foster care. One of the real benefits of this program, other than learning, is that the mentoring can help the child re-engage with education by the mentor talking to the child about how their day went. The aim of the Specialist Foster Care Program is to integrate these children into the general society as functioning people who can have happy lives, who aren't aggressive, who aren't bullying other people anymore, who aren't in jail, and also to not be victims, to not be with aggressive partners, and to not be able to protect themselves or their loved ones, like their children. So in a sense, to break the cycle of foster care.